Hey everybody, I'm Pastor AJ Houseman and welcome to 10-Foot Pole, a podcast to dig deeper into aspects of the Bible that get glossed over or totally ignored in most preaching. The Bible has a lot of parts that are racy, uncomfortable, and sometimes downright horrifying. Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, well, Season 2 is finally here. Yay! For those of you that have been following, I left off last year because I was happening a baby. If you go listen to the final episode with Pastor Bree Roberts, we kind of talk about, what that might be like. It's worse than I thought it would be, so... but it happened. It did. Everyone is fine, happy, and healthy. And we have a baby girl, Finley Leora Joe, who is 9 months old now. Crazy, right? Sorry to those of you who thought you'd hear from me much sooner, but life with the baby really gets away from you very quickly. Along with some other, life things like relocating to a new state. So that's a new thing that I have also done this year. So moving. Happy fun times, right? Anyways, we are back now with some changes. Actually, a super cool, awesome change. We are sponsored. I am officially the called and ordained pastor of the 10-Foot Pole podcast. Right? Cool, huh? Through the Delaware, Maryland Synod of the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America. Now that just means the ELCA is the Lutheran church that I am an ordained pastor in. And then synods, so like the church is split up into smaller groups of churches called synods, and it's just it's a group of churches and other ministries such as campus ministries, prison ministries, church camps, etc., and their leadership structure, which consists of a board called the Synod Council that's made up of pastors, deacons, and other church members from the area, which in this case is most of the state of Maryland and all of Delaware. And each synod has a bishop and a bishop's staff to carry out the leadership responsibilities for this collection. For here, approximately, a little over 150 churches and other ministries. So anyways, the Delaware Maryland Synod Council and bishop and leadership has found our little podcast to be a great faith and Bible education ministry and worth investing in, which is pretty cool. So we are now one of these 150 churches and other ministries. Yay! So this is pretty cool because this new investment into the podcast is going to mean some pretty cool stuff in our future. This sponsorship allows me to give mostly my undivided attention to the podcast community. And by mostly undivided attention, I mean that, this is now my job. My permanent full-time capacity at the moment is I am the built-in mom childcare for my child. And then the other time that I have to give is for you guys. And so what we're looking forward to is, along with another 30-episode season, we'll be launching a website with a blog that will have additional Bible topics or related to current events written by either me or some other pastor, one of our guests probably. Some merchandise. Listen, I know some of you have been looking for some swag, and so down the road a little ways, we will see some of that. Right away, something else that you'll see on the website when it's launched is a resource page. Almost every episode we talk about cool books, authors, articles, and other great stuff that, we tell you to go read and learn and, kind of further your own faithful biblical studies. You're going to be able to find that all now, which, makes sense, right? So these will be sort of vetted, endorsed sources that you can go and read some good theology. Other things that we'll have opportunities for forums and conversations about our various Bible topics on Facebook, Zoom, the website, and hopefully coming through in 2023, some live events. There's going to be even some more cool stuff coming that I'm not fully prepared to to share yet, but for season 3 and beyond. So lots of great stuff heading down the road for us in the podcast. Now, the big question that I'm sure you're all really asking and sitting there quietly waiting to hear, AJ, why the name change? I mean, shit they don't tell you on Sunday was so racy and fun to say at parties. Well, the honest answer is they told me to. But also for a really good reason, though, while shit they don't tell you on Sundays is super fun to say, it can be a bit off-putting for some, and the hope is that this name change will help broaden our community, because we have, great guests, and really cool things to share, and so hopefully this will make it a little bit more open for more folks. But don't you worry, there will probably still be plenty of swearing within the episodes themselves. Mostly because I get a little too excited and struggle to maintain my own verbal decorum most of the time, which is a struggle just in my personal life alone. I do have a small child who is starting to talk now. So maybe that's going to come and bite me in the ass in a little bit, and then it'll get cleaner. Who knows? We'll see. But right now, all she says is all done, and hi TT, which is hi Kitty, because the cat's the only person in our family that she talks to directly. Anyways, it is so good to be back, y'all. I am excited for this season, lining up some great guests. So we're going to take you all the way through Christmas this year. So look for the very first episode on season 2 on Tuesday, November 22nd. So coming up right around the corner here. And as always, please share this podcast, season 1, the upcoming season, and announcements with your family and friends, and those you think are, wanting to look deeper into the Bible, and hear from some pretty cool pastors. Or, maybe just those who have a really long car ride for Thanksgiving week and could use a pastor or two ranting about Jesus. Because I know you're all going to listen to the podcast and immediately go take that into your Thanksgiving dinners with your family. Actually, anybody who does that, I would really love to hear about how that experience would go for you. Sitting down at the Thanksgiving table, let's talk about queer theology. Please do that and then come tell me about it. Anyways. I look forward to some great times with y'all this season, and our great guests that we have lined up, and looking to hear from the audience more and some of the new initiatives we're doing. So please get connected and stay tuned. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/10-foot pole podcast. If you already followed Shit They Don't Tell You on Sunday, it automatically updated for you. Don't you worry. But please share that with those that haven't followed us yet. And also, you can listen wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search 10-Foot Pole Podcast. The 10-Foot Pole Podcast is a ministry of the Delaware Maryland Synod, and you can learn more by going to demdsynod.org. Thanks, guys. That is it for today, and we'll talk to you in a couple of weeks. Take care.